All right, everybody, welcome to the TexAgs Rewind Holiday Edition. Thanks to our new sponsor, not really, sponsor of TexAgs, not the Rewind, little Shiner box. Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah.
All right, I have no idea what we did on the Rewind today. I hosted the show, but I didn't decide what's on the Rewind, so we're just going to sit here by the fire and hang out. Y'all enjoy. I'll save mine for later. OB, do you have one?
I don't know that we have one. Because we change what we do every year, you know. In fact, we just put up a Christmas tree just like 2 days ago.
There you go. I'll say this. I'm a fan of that. There's people that put up Christmas stuff way too early.
Well, we've not had a Christmas tree since, I guess, 2017. We had the first year when Buck was a puppy and he pulled it down. We were asleep or in bed, and all of a sudden this big crash
from the
living room. We go down, the dog is hiding, and he pulled down the Christmas tree and everything on it. So we just didn't have one. And then the other day, Irma says, I miss having a Christmas tree. So I went up and bought one. We came down and put it up. And Buck's now an old dog, so he doesn't do that silliness anymore.
He knows better.
So I'm trying to think if we have an actual. We used to do tamales in a Mexican house, but even Irma said, well, it's just the three of us. Should I get tamales? I said, nah, don't worry about it. So,
man, I would have a hard time saying no if someone offered to. Should we get them?
Yeah, I get a lot of Mexican food.
You do.
And then
you rub it in my face a lot of times. Anytime Irma cooks something good, you always want to come up here and tell me the next day. And I'm like, well, Olin.
Well, I'll try to remember to bring some.
There we go.
And then, a lot of times we go down to the Rio Grande Valley, but Quinn's back from school. And he said, I just don't feel like chilling out, traveling. I want to stay at home and see his old high school buddies. And so we're just not doing anything. Sometimes I guess we don't have one.
Sometimes it's good to do nothing. It's good to, and especially with this weather that's coming in the next couple of days, I don't think people are going to want to get out and do a whole
I think that we're going to probably have a subdued Christmas until we become grandparents. So I say, hey, Quinn, go out and get somebody pregnant.
Well, Quinn,
maybe not, but let's wait.
Quinn, let's get through college.
Yeah, maybe.
Listen, you put in the miles, my man. Tell us all where you went.
Well, I started the day off at Mansfield at Lake Ridge High School. Really wanted to get some eyes on Riley and Kennedy, late addition. A guy that A&M really jumped on in December, and that thing just took off like a rocket. I mean, it went from, hey, we're interested to, all right, sign him up, and in a matter of a couple weeks. And what a great kid. This is the first time I've had a chance to really talk to him and meet his family. Great family. Checked in on his official visit to A&M at 6'3.5", around 210 pounds. So he's skinny, but he's got a real lean frame. You're talking about a kid that high jumped 6'8" last spring, while earning I think he earned a basketball scholarship, was first team all district in a district that includes Duncanville, DeSoto, and Lancaster. That, when it comes to basketball, it's just like football. They put out a ton of players, and it's highly competitive. And then this year, he just went off on the football field and was quickly emerged as one of the top pass rushers and edge threats, in a really stout district. Saw his recruitment take off in November. But yeah, that was first stop. And then second stop, I had to go see Javon Thomas in South Oak Cliff.
Back-to-back state champs.
Two-time Todd out there, and with their back-to-back state championships, see JT Thomas. And, if there was one signee that there was some mystery around in the DFW area, it was Javon. And, wanted to see him put pen to paper, and, it was a great day. I think A&M should be pretty excited about what's coming their way.
Logan, Tuesday afternoon, Reed Arena, not the prettiest sight of things for the Aggies.
No, it was
I don't even know if disappointment is how you can describe it. The Aggies are struggling to say the least, and in this game against Wofford, I mean, it's a 5-point loss. Hardly scored 60 points. Wofford just controlled the game. They controlled the pace of the game. They controlled the shot selection, both on offense and defense. It was disappointing to see, especially going into the holidays. And they are lost. They don't have a leader right now. They don't have a go-to guy. They have no consistency, both on offense and defense. It's a struggle.
Logan, do you think some of that is because, I mean, I watch the games and I just don't feel like the coaching staff has a feel for what the rotation should be right now. And it just feels like to me, Andre Gordon, not that he's going to come up and give you 20, but he gives you solid play. He almost sat the bench, it felt like, for most of the second half the other day. It just feels like there's not any kind of set rotation. It doesn't seem like people know their roles. I mean, maybe you see it differently.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. There's no consistency, and that starts with the rotation. I mean, there are here. I don't want to always go back to the teams that I played on, but that's what I know. And if you look at it, I mean, heck, there was 0 starting lineup changes throughout the year. I mean, by the time that first game came, we knew our roles. We knew what we had on the team. We knew everybody's capabilities and how they fit into the system. And while it's different these days because of transfers and all of this other stuff, I mean, there's not as much cohesiveness coming into the season because of those because of the transfer portal. But at the same time, you're a third of the season done. You need to know who you can trust and who you can't. And that's what I wrote last night, really late, is Bud just needs to limit his rotation to 8 guys. The 8 guys that are being the most productive right now, those guys that play, and he needs to roll with them. And he needs to allow them to, 1, figure out their roles within that 8-man system, but 2, just have some consistency. I would put Gordon in the top 5 of that 8 just because you know what you're getting from him. He's your top defender. He can shoot the ball when he's at the 2 or the 3, whatever position it may be, when he's off the ball, not a point guard. He can score.
How cool is it to see what Dan's done there in Detroit?
I love it. I reached out to him a couple days ago just we touch base periodically because we struck up a friendship there in Dallas for a long time, and the dude is as real as it gets. He has put in his time, and that's what's funny about it is he's a young dude. We all remember Dan Campbell at Kyle Field or with the Cowboys, and the fact is he put in an 11-year NFL career and then an 11-year NFL coaching career. So 22 years in the NFL to get his chance to be a head coach. Remember the first chance in Miami didn't quite work, even though he did a lot of impressive things there, and then went to New Orleans for about 5 years. Now he's got his chance, and I couldn't be happier. So he's a real dude. He resonates with players. They play hard for him. They buy into him. And just at the end of the day, I want to see success because I think whoever achieves that with Detroit is going to be a legend there, and he deserves it. So I'm thrilled for Dan. I just read a story by Bob McGinn that people should look up that pretty much details his entire path. And I thought it was fantastic. I tweeted it out a couple nights ago, and it just sort of fills in all the blanks for people that might have lost track of him. He put in his time. He has a great philosophy. He's a great football coach, and I just want the best for him.
I wonder if that story, I may need to go read it and see if there's any references to his college roommate, one Billy Lucci. That might be an interesting angle that someone else needs to cover if it hasn't been enough already.
Yeah, well, Billy's under-publicized, so that's probably a rock Bob didn't overturn. But no, that's awesome, and I certainly have a solid regard for both those dudes.
All right, that was the TexAgs Rewind. I'm Dalton Hughes.
He's Dalton Hughes.
He's Richard Zane.
I am Richard Zane.
She's Kay Nagley. He's Nick Savage.
Howdy.
We'll see you after Christmas.